Welcome to Spotlight with Kathy Holly.
Make my life so glamorous.
And here's Kathy.
Wow, I feel like Kathy Carson. Well, you won't believe it, everybody. It is 2014, right? And I'm sitting between two very talented guests tonight on Spotlight. All about the entertainment world, everybody. So thank you for tuning in, and do not change the channel, because on my left I have Mr. Ralph or R.J. Pinkerton, singer-songwriter, and a wonderful, well, you're going to find out, he's also a wonderful master of massagercise. We will talk about that. And over here on my right, I have Mr. Mark Barbolak, a voiceover artist as well as a co-writer with R.J. Pinkerton. We're going to talk about their music, what they do with their voices, singing, songwriting, and everything else. So I'm going to start right over here on my left. May I call you Ralph?
Yes, my dear.
Mr. R.J. Pinkerton. Oh my gosh, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for the
And
invitation.
you know, I don't think we've ever really talked about where you started with music. Where are you from, first of all? Tell everybody.
Originally started in my hometown of Michigan, Alpena, Michigan, northern Michigan, about 100 miles south of Mackinac, the large bridge over there.
And what happened? How did you get into the music business?
You know, as a younger child and singing all the time with the radio and the hits and all of that, hanging out with friends who really enjoyed doing music and also were interested in it, started playing guitar and imitating the stars at that time. And from there we formed a band. I formed with a couple of close friends of mine, Bobby Rigg, Donnie Hartman, Jack Smolinski was doing bass, and we had this little group that we started playing gigs. And
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And now you were with a group?
yes.
And what were some of the groups that you were with? Or your own group, of course.
The group, at that time, we were known as the Chevelles in northern Michigan. And we ended up playing backup for some of the stars at that time coming through the area, because we had a manager at that time with nightclubs, and so we were doing backup for Sonny and Cher, played with Jay and the Americans back at that time.
I
So,
love it. I wish I was there. You
Yeah.
worked with Sonny and Cher?
Sonny and Cher, yes, we did.
So they were just starting out?
They were starting out, they had their hits, yes, they had.
Do you know I have a little story too?
Oh,
I was performing in Los Angeles, singing and strolling, playing the guitar in a restaurant called the Roger Young Auditorium. And who should come in one night for dinner but Sonny and Cher
right.
and their manager. And someone, motioned me over there and said, "You've got to go see this new duo, Sonny and Cher. We want to introduce you to them." I couldn't believe it. And I thought, oh, I wonder who they are. Well, we know who they are
yeah,
now
that's right,
today. So what happened? You left Michigan, and when did you
Yes.
start songwriting then?
we started songwriting at that time, actually. This was 64, 65, to say, oh my gosh. And so we just started recording we did our first recording in Motown, Detroit. And then along came the military and the draft, and I was the one who happened to leave and was inducted into the military, so they replaced me with another person, and they went on to record, and I went over.
You went over to do the Army thing.
I did,
And you
yes.
and Elvis.
Yes, there you go.
And then what happened after that? So you got back into the business when you came home?
Yes, when I came back home, they were rocking and rolling, and they were playing gigs at the Fillmore West, Fillmore East, that type of thing. They were
Yes.
very heavy rock and roll. And so I came back and I started writing, as I really had an interest in that. And my older brother and I, Bill, we started writing together because he liked to do lyrics and that kind of thing. So that was 68, 69, and we wrote our first Christmas song, which was picked up by Chapel Records out of New York. And so we were then able to join A.S.C.A.P. in 1969. And so that song was a Christmas song, a 4-part obligato choral arrangement.
Beautiful.
And so that got
What was the name of it?
Like Come See Little One.
And was this, so you were changing your style of music then and writing?
Yes.
Because you were in a rock and roll band before the Army, and then you go to the Army, you come home.
Yes.
And did you get into folk music, or what
Yes,
would you
and
call
at
it?
that time, folk music and that whole Beatles thing was very solid, and Simon and Garfunkel, and
Yes,
that whole
love that.
era was happening. And so I was interested in that type of music more than I was into the heavy rock at that time. So started writing songs, and then running songs back and forth to Los Angeles, to publishers, and record companies and doing that.
That is
whole
so
thing for a lot of
wonderful. And did you
years.
make a living doing this?
It was almost a living. It was a sideline. I was doing also like don't quit your day job kind of thing,
And what was may I ask what your day job was, other than
I
waiting
was-
tables, or what?
Yes,
was
no,
it?
we did. I did all of that. Had a number of jobs and ended up in the water technology.
Really?
So doing that for many years, and because of the working schedule, I was able to do my music.
That's wonderful.
On weekends. And
When you
all,
say
so
water technology, we need you right now.
That's it.
Could you make water? Was
Absolutely,
that it?
I could do it. I could probably do a dance.
Well, I know
don't
you
if it'll
make
work.
music, and I just want to address Mark too, because Mark, you're sitting here so nice and quietly. I'll introduce you to the studio audience. I will just spend a moment, and then I'll go back to Ralph. But would you mind using your real voice and introducing yourself?
You want my real voice, do you? I got my unreal voice, too.
Well, Harlan, I'm so glad you're on the show. It's really great to see you. Yeah, Mark is a voiceover artist, everybody, and that's one of his many voices.
Well, it's
We
funny,
will get
old
back to
people,
you.
for some reason, I've always loved old folks, and we used to do prank calls as kids.
No
And I was the
wonder.
guy that could do the old guy calling in, like to, get out of school, like, Tommy can't make it to school today.
I love it.
And prank calls were the precursor to.
Don't get any ideas out there.
That's
Parents,
right. Yeah.
don't tell your children. We used to do a little of that. I mean, I'm sorry, nobody thinks we're perfect, right? But I think I remember doing something like that.
I did
That
it
was
till
kind of
10
fun.
years ago, and then caller ID started, and the police showed
That was
up.
the end of
But,
you.
Yeah. But
Well, where were you from originally?
from Southern California.
Really?
Yeah.
And then did you two meet up in Southern California, you and Ralph?
No, we met up here, if I can be so, get into Ralph's private life. He's a kung fu master and
Yes, we're
teacher,
gonna
and
get
he
into
started
that.
out as my teacher, is how I met Ralph. And then
Voiceover and kung fu and music, they all go together.
They do.
They really
They do.
do. I mean, that's very important to be body sound, and it helps your mind, right?
Absolutely.
Now, you as a
absolutely.
voiceover artist, you do multi-voices, of course.
I do quite a few.
You
few.
do some character voices, Mark?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll blow my own horn. There's a video game called The Walking Dead, and it's got zombies, and I'm a cop in the beginning of the game that turns into a zombie. It's just, he's just a good old Southern boy kind of talking to a prisoner in the back. I love accents. I love, as you do. I
You're
think I hear a lot of
good.
your accents.
Yes.
And,
Oui.
yeah,
Je parle français, petit peu. Of course, darling. No, I love doing accents.
well, I love your voices. I've heard your demo. You're very good.
Oh, thank you
You're
so
very
much.
good.
Well, this is good advertising for everybody on this show, right? We love to do voices, everybody. If you want a commercial from one of us, please call me. I'm available, so is Mark. Well, in the meantime, we got to get back to the music for just a moment, because I know we're going to hear a performance today, everybody, so do not go away. You're going to hear a live performance from Mark and R.J. as well. Well, we're going to also see a performance of one of Ralph's songs that you wrote not too long ago. Am I correct on this?
Correct. Yeah, this song.
How long ago? It's called The Dance
The Dance of Life.
of Life.
Yes.
Tell me how you wrote that song. It's a wonderful title.
That song, you hear this every now and again, songwriters and all, but that song woke me up at about 3:30 in the morning. I woke up out of a very deep sleep, and I was singing this verse. And I mean, I woke up and thinking, what am I singing? I don't even know this song. And I was singing a bit of the lyrics, and I thought, my God, that's an original song. So I got up, got a recorder, went back to bed, and recorded that part. Put the recorder down, and then about an hour later, it woke me up again, singing more lyrics, and so I recorded that. And then from there, I woke up at 6 o'clock singing most of the song, got up and wrote a good half of the song, and then finished it in a couple of hours.
And the
And-
theme of it is just general. I mean,
Yes,
life
I-
is wonderful.
Yes, I didn't want to. I love love songs and writing love songs and singing love songs, but I didn't really want to write a love song at that point, and I've always wanted to write a waltz. And so it turns out the song is a waltz, and it's about life, it's about friendship, it's about growing together and being together. And
It's wonderful for weddings.
yes, for weddings.
Anniversaries.
And I was told that,
It's
maybe
fabulous.
it's a waltz, they would use it on Dancing with the Stars.
I think it would be great. Well, let's
So
waste no
it's,
time.
there we
I
go.
would love to see the video right now, have our audience see the video that you made of
This is
the
available on
dance of life.
YouTube, yes.
It is available on YouTube
And
too, everybody. All
yes,
right.
iTunes
Because
and all of that.
that's, everybody, you've got to take a look and a listen. There's nothing greater than this song. You performed it recently for me.
Yes.
And did it at the open mic venue and also at the Villa Des
That's
where I
right.
perform and produce a show. So I think we probably will see it at any moment here, but I just want to give the audience a little background. To actually hear you do it with an audience, it's very moving. People react. Everybody wants to get married. Or they want to celebrate their anniversary. Or I'm just saying how great this song is. So are we ready for the DVD of this, I hope, the video?
Thank you.
Maybe we are. And we can see it right here. Well, if it takes a moment to cue it up, maybe. You've written how many songs, do you think, Ralph?
Oh,
While we're waiting for this to be queued up. Oh, it's queued up. Great.
It's a slow dance, and it comes from the heart. Moving together, then moving apart. As I hold you tightly, we twist and we turn. Moving together, there's so much to learn. We can move from the shadows into the light, believing together that we'll get it right. So many before us have tried and they've failed, but we can survive if we mend the sails. The winds will blow steady, the nights might be long. If we stand together, we'll be twice as strong. For there's a spirit that guides us as we move along. Something inside, like a magical song. It's a slow dance, and it comes from the heart. Moving together, then moving apart. As I hold you tightly, we twist and we turn. Moving together, there's so much to learn. With mountains and valleys and rivers to cross, if we just keep dancing, we'll never get lost. We keep moving forward and learn from the past. The treasures gathered forever will last. It's a slow dance, and it comes from the heart. Moving together, then moving apart. As I hold you tightly, we twist and we turn. Moving together, there's so much to learn. Yes, moving together, there's so much to learn.